How many push-ups does it take to fix scurvy? Well, I'm Dr. Russ Rosen, if you don't know who I am, and I help natural healthcare providers like you thrive in a care versus care true optimal health model. So, how many push-ups does it take to fix scurvy? This one concept can revolutionize your practice. When I'm working with new doctors, I walk them through this very specific process, and I want to walk you through it right now because I know it can be an absolute game changer. So, step one is we get extremely clear about who we are, what we do, why we do what we don't do, why we don't do those things, etc. Now, there's literally a 3 hour class that we walk through. Obviously, we're not going to do now, where we end up with the umbrella exercise, which is where we're going to start. So, the umbrella exercise goes like this. Here's the umbrella of all the things that I do and what I'm trying to accomplish. So, what do I do? What am I trying to accomplish? Well, I help people get healthy, stay healthy, and have the best life possible. That's what I do. How do I do it? Well, I do these specific adjustments for these reasons. I do these brain techniques for these reasons. Neuroemotional, specific therapies, specific nutrients, lifestyle advice, whatever it is that I do. So one of the things that I ask all of the doctors that I'm working with is to very clearly, what is it that I do and how do I accomplish it? Now, it's got to be simple that anybody could understand, similar to a very quick elevator pitch. If you were at a party and someone asked, what do you do? As a chiropractor, you should know that the last thing you want to say is, I'm a chiropractor. Why? Because they all think they know what chiropractic is. And for every doctor that I coach, what they believe we do versus what we actually do are two different things. So I help people get healthy and stay healthy and have the best life possible. Really, how do you do that? Well, we're off and running. Okay. So step one is I want you to be clear about this is what I do and have a very short, simple sentence. And these are the things that I do to accomplish it. This is how I get to the underlying cause of the problem by doing these specific things. Now, once you come up with that, we need to take a look at the lens through which you communicate and market what it is that you actually do. So I ask my doctors to come up with a handout, which turns into a poster so that we can then communicate it and how we're different with our patients. So many of us have heard the triad of health. So I think it was George Goodhart who came up with mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and biochemical. That's the triad of health. And you can communicate when you're working with your patients through here's what we're working on and why. Now, if you're a chiropractor and all you do is adjust, you don't give lifestyle advice, you don't use nutrients, you don't use any kind of brain-based work, you don't do any other kinds of things, then you really don't need to have something like that. You would really just go through the chiropractic premise with them. But I coach a lot of docs who do a lot of other things. So here are some examples. Triad of health. Scott Walker, he uses the home run formula. So it's a picture of a baseball diamond. I believe that the patient is on the pitcher's mound, and or the doctor is on the pitcher's mound. And then there's emotional stress, there's nutritional stress, there's physical and structure kind of stress, and there's toxic influences. So that's how he would talk about here's how we look at your health challenges. These are the things that we do. I coach a lot of doctors that have like a 5 pointed star or a 6 pointed star or whatever it is that you want to make it. Dr. Michael Winters, I've coached forever, and he's an absolute legend of a doctor. He came up with and trademarked hidden. So we get to the hidden underlying causes of your health problems. And that's H for hormonal, I for immune, D for digestive, and and for neurologic. And I ask my doctors to come up with something that works for them. I do the spine and nervous system. I deal with the brain. I do, neurofeedback. Or how I deal with the brain is by using these chiropractic techniques and this neurofeedback. So you want to get really clear about what are the things that we do. I use therapies, I use lifestyle advice, I use specific techniques to find out what nutrition you need, spit, pee, and poop test, whatever it is that you do. And you can categorize that how you want, right? So under biochemical, I might put, I do CRA or NRT, I do spit, pee, and poop tests, I do blood work, I do symptom surveys, or, right? So you get very clear about the things that you do and how you practice. Now, what I'm going to do is communicate with my patient that way. When they come in, they're going to see it on all the walls, right? And I'm going to speak with them about it. And I'm going to start off with, so in this office, we do things very differently. We're really looking to get to the underlying cause of your health problems. Let me ask you a question. Any idea what causes scurvy? Most people will say a deficiency or lack of vitamin C. If they don't know, I'll tell them that. And then I'll ask them, how many push-ups do you think it would take to fix scurvy? And they'll usually get uncomfortable and laugh and say, well, I don't think you could do enough push-ups to fix scurvy if lack of vitamin C is the problem. And I would say, I'd agree. I would agree with you. So how many chiropractic visits would it take to fix scurvy? I don't think there are enough chiropractic adjustments you could do in the world to fix scurvy. Exactly. On the other hand, imagine that you have all the vitamin C that you need. The problem is you're subluxated. You're not getting proper nerve supply to your gut. So you're not digesting your food. You're not digesting the vitamin C. You're not assimilating the vitamin C. How much vitamin C would it take to fix that problem? Exactly. There is no amount of vitamin C you could take to fix that problem. So when you're in my office, we want to get to the underlying cause. We will look through the lens of your nervous system, specific brain, specific neuroemotional, specific biochemical, specific lifestyle advice, etc. And here's why. And you want to make those very short and very succinct. I will do a video on how to make those short and succinct, but we don't want those to be paragraphs. We want those to be sentences with little tiny metaphors so that they get an understanding that in this office, this is not cookie cutter. In this office, we take a different approach. In this office, we get to the underlying cause of your problems through this specific approach. Now, once you're clear on this, you need to rebrand your world. This is what I do with my doctors that I coach. Now they go, oh, wow, this is really different. So how I'm going to communicate with my patients is different. How I'm going to market is different. So let me know if you find any value in this. If you do, what I would ask you to do is go ahead and share with me what you came up with. Home run formula, Triad of Health, hidden 5-star. And then what I'll do is I'll take the best of and I'll share them in a video. If you found value, please share this with others. If you want to thrive in a care versus scare, true optimal health model, I can help you do that. Hope you found value. As always, much love and aloha. Bye, gang.